Now, the COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions that have come with it is presenting enormous challenges for everyone, and children are no exception. Sports games have been cancelled, so have birthday parties, and kids are missing their friends. So to discuss the best ways we can have conversations with children about this and give them the support that they need, I'm joined by child psychologist Kirrilie Smout. Kirrilie, thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Many adults are experiencing stress and anxiety, and children are too. How can we reassure children in this environment when there's so much uncertainty?
Fortunately, there is a lot that we can do for children, and part of that is us talking in calm and reassuring ways to them, providing them the kind of information that they need depending on their age, making sure that we're not exposing them to too much information that they can't manage, but reassuring them in ways that make sense to them, using language which talks about the fact that there are lots of adults around the world who are working really hard to find ways that we can keep them safe and to find ways that we can keep working together as a world.
So kids are now not hanging out with friends. They're cooped up at home and spending more time with their parents and siblings. That's really hard.
Yeah, we're hearing lots of parents and caregivers who are really concerned for their children at the moment. And we know that there are many kids who are finding life quite stressful. Part of that is because of worry about the virus itself and how that might affect them and their families. And yes, also, as you say, they're being taken away from their regular routines, their family, extended families, grandparents, their schools, their friends, their usual hobbies and sports. And so all of those things mean that the lack of predictability in their day can be quite tough for lots of kids.
Just on that, with schools, for the first time, children are getting homeschooled. What can we do to make sure children engage as well at home as they do, or as they normally would in the schoolyard?
Yeah, well, look, I think unfortunately we all have to have realistic expectations about how well that can happen. And the education needs to take a back seat for many families, and connection needs to come first. So that means sometimes we are going to have to say, we can't do it all today, we can't make it happen. And we're talking with lots of parents who are at that point on lots of days. And it's okay to say that what really matters right now is children's wellbeing. We try where we can to get them to do the things that we know would be good for them educationally, but when we can't, we can take a step back.
So there are resources available, one of them being Calm Kids Central. So this is an online program to support children. How does that work?
Well, yes, this program allows parents and caregivers to ask our team of child psychologists any questions and get a really quick response. We know that that's important in this day and age. So within 48 hours, they'll have one of our psychologists giving them some ideas about what they can do for their child and to answer the question that they have. And we also have courses for children that they can watch and understand worry and frustration and help them to act in more cooperative ways.
Such an important service. More broadly, how important do you think it is to get children to understand and manage their feelings at a young age?
Look, it's essential. Emotional wellbeing, emotional literacy, having kids being able to think about what it is that I want, how do I express it, how do I connect with others, how do I manage frustration, all of those skills are really related to how well children do at school, at work, in all of their other relationships. So anything that we can do as parents to be supporting children to do this is a really valuable thing. And in fact, we're actually talking to some parents and caregivers who are saying that right at the moment, some of them have a little bit more time to have these important conversations. And so I would be saying to Australian families who are at home, if you do have some extra time, we can use that to really connect with kids. And I'd also be saying, make sure you do reach out for help at this time. Please don't suffer by yourself. We're really fortunate in this country that there are programs like ours. There are online telehealth programs and services by psychologists that you can access through a variety of funding models, whether it be private, whether it be primary health networks. They're supported and they are there for families who need that support. So it's really important that they reach out and they're used so that they're not feeling isolated.
Such great advice, and it's good to hear that there are some positives coming out of this situation. If there are more families connecting and having those discussions, and that is certainly a good thing. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Kirrilie Smout, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.